Going back those days and today, Oliver Tambo, the selfless man, what is it that you can share with our listener about Oliver Tambo, the man, today, as compared to maybe any other person that you would know in leadership?
You know, it would be unfair to really to compare OR with anyone. In my own view, there's no one that I can compare to OR. I think he was an embodiment of sacrifice and an intellectual capability, a great thinker, a hard worker, that I think it's going to be very difficult for us for years to come to produce anyone like OR. And that's why we are where we are today. If it wasn't OR, the ANC would have fragmented in exile and destroyed itself in exile. A lot of liberation movement went through the challenges in exile. I mean, if you look at the MPLA, they fragmented. Later on, UNITA came into being. The ZANU and ZAPU Meta in exile created big problems. I mean, history is full of those examples where the liberation movements, they really fragment and it delays the process of the liberation of the country. So I think he made a huge contribution to keep the movement together. But I think part of the skillful way that he employed in keeping the movement together was to ensure that he takes the evil part out of it, self-enrichment, money out of it, and really he never wanted us to settle down in exile because he knew we would not come back. And he wanted us to live a modest life, not starve, but we can't live as if we are free men and women when we are battling for the liberation of the country. So I'm saying it would be unfair to compare OR to anyone. In my own view also, OR made a big contribution in really building the reputation of Nelson Mandela as a symbol of our liberation. He went around the world lobbying. I mean, people did not know anything about Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is known around the world, and thanks to Oliver Tambo, because he went around explaining the sacrifice that Nelson Mandela is making and really using him as a symbol of our liberation. I know there are many instances where universities were offering to give OR honorary doctorates. He would go and convince them to give it to Nelson Mandela and not him. And I think by doing that, he really exposed all of us to these qualities of selfless leadership in him throughout. And that's why today, as we really start this process of marking the centenary of Oliver Tambo's birthday, we need to speak about his contribution, which we really speak about it in many platforms. We need to ensure that we build the Oliver Tambo Foundation so that it keeps on rekindling this memory amongst all of us. That foundation is very important to keep the memories of Oliver Tambo alive. So all of us, we need to make a huge contribution to building this memory that Oliver Tambo left with us and so on.